Hey guys, GNT here, and today I went and saw the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Like, oh man, it was nice. Let's see. I'm gonna get into spoilers, so if you plan on going to see it and you haven't seen it yet, and you were like me and just managed to avoid pretty much everything about it online, besides Gogeta, wish I hadn't seen that, but still. It was on the freaking bookmark they gave us when we went in the theater, so it didn't matter. Even if I tried to avoid Gogeta, it would have been spoiled for me anyway. But here's the thing. What I'm gonna say is I'm gonna start talking about this. Is gonna be kind of spoiling. I don't know what the flip just happened there. That was a weird noise. So if you want to hear exactly my just direct opinions on it, the art style / animation was 100. 100. There we go. It was amazing. 5 stars. I love that. Like when they fought and stuff, it just looked beautiful. And as far as the story goes, I guess the story would get a 4, because a ton of it wasn't story, or rather, how do you say this? It just story wise, you know what? It's hard to get into that without spoiling stuff. But as far as the story goes, it'd be about a 4. Like, some stuff was really cool. They went into the backstory on Broly and stuff. It was great, but some characters were really weak in that story, so yeah, that's about as far as I'd go for it. A 4. I couldn't give it a perfect score on story, but the fights, that's what we came for, the big battle. I'd give that a 5 as well. So let's see, and as far as, like I was saying, with the story, the characters and stuff, that's all in wrapped in together. It's 4. The art style animation would be a 5. And the actual fights and stuff, besides that dang 3D that they keep using. Like, I'm fine with seeing it now, because I've seen it in every Dragon Ball movie. I don't know if it was in the Frieza movie. Let me know in the comments if it was in the Frieza movie. But I know it was in the Battle of Gods movie, because I've only watched the Resurrection F like once. No, I've watched it twice. But Battle of Gods I watched at least 10 times, because I really liked it. Resurrection F I thought was okay, but this movie, the Broly movie, I thought was quite stellar. Like, I would definitely watch this a few more times. Whenever it comes out, I'm getting it on the Blu-ray and whatnot, so you can check that out a few more times. But the dang 3D animation in the fights is so freaking weird. I don't understand why they do that. I need an explanation for that. I'm sorry. It was so smooth. Everything was smooth. The art smooth. The animation smooth. And then you get this jarring 3D turn in the middle of the fight. It was like, what the flip just happened? Oh goodness, I was about to say something that I don't even want to bring up until I get through this. But anywho, as far as the movie goes, I'd give it a 4.5. Simply because the story was not. I don't even know if I'd say it was not what I would like. It was just not what I expected, I guess, which actually made it better. But a couple of characters were really flat, and a couple of things they did in that story seemed really stupid. So I had to give it a 4 instead of a 5. So overall, it'd be a 4.5, 4.75. Overall, it's a great movie and you should watch it. If you can, go see it in theaters while it's there. Like, I went for the first showing they had today, which is January 16th, just in case it doesn't get up on the channel today. And I went at 11:30 in the morning. That was the first showing they had near me. I was there, and it was actually quite full in the theater. It shocked me. That's why I went early. I was like, I'm going here early. Nobody's gonna be here. And then I walked in, because here's the thing. Funny story. this is my first time actually going to that theater, and I knew where it was, but I said just in case, I'm gonna check again and see exactly where they say the address is. And when I looked the address on the the map thingamabobber and saw where it was a totally different area. And I ended up driving to that area, and I was like, there's no theater here. What happened? So I just drove back to the area that I knew it was at, which I should have did in the first place. But I was extremely early. I left the house at like 10, and it takes like 15, 20 minutes to get there. So I had plenty of time. But the point was that I ended up driving way off and then coming back. So by the time I got back to the theater, it was like 11:28. Movie started 11:30. I ran into the theater, not literally because I don't do that, but got in the theater, scanned my phone for that dang Fandango ticket that I bought like a month ago, and then I went to the theater expecting nobody to be in there. It was almost full. I wasn't there talking about how did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Oh, but it was nice. And it wasn't like the horrible crowd, which I think is because I went early. I didn't get the horrible crowd of people that's just annoying, loud, and junk, and have the freaking phones on and stuff. So it's a nice experience, and I think that added to my enjoyment of the movie, because you know, when you see a movie in some theaters and it's horrible quality in the theater, you end up liking the movie a little less. Even if you really like the movie, you'll be like, I don't know about that. You end up being more critical too. So I just went off on randomness there. I'm gonna get back to talking about Broly. The movie was great. Go see it. And now we're gonna talk about spoilers. So here's the thing. My biggest issue, the green chick who seems to really care about Broly, the fact that I can't remember her name shows you exactly how great she was in that movie. Like, she feels so generic. For some odd reason, it feels like they just threw a generic character in. They didn't bother to try and make her somebody that would be memorable. Besides her character design, I really like her character design. Plot purposes were on point and stuff. And I don't remember her name at all. And that's a shame. And I think my mic has not been loud this entire time. I'm gonna cut it up a little bit, crank it up a little bit. Ignore the noise if you hear any. Yeah, so the side characters and stuff were just really weak. And I think they understood that the side characters were going to be weak in this movie, which is why they didn't add a bunch of other characters. Like in the first two movies, you had freaking Krillin and Master Roshi and all those guys, Gohan and all that, when we knew they're not going to do anything significant. So with this movie, they were like, we're just going to cut out all of those extra characters. We're going to give you Goku, Vegeta, freaking Bulma, Beerus, Whis, and Piccolo. And a little quick cameo from the kids at the Capsule Corp. I'm not going to even just throw out all their names. They're just the kids at the Capsule Corp now, because they have no purpose. Like Goten and Trunks have no purpose at all in Dragon Ball, period. They haven't tried to use those characters. Every time they mention them, it's either for a joke or it's just something to throw in the background. And I really hate it, because I feel like Goten and Trunks could be really useful for a story or something. I don't know. They'd be great for an actual real arc, not nothing fillery feeling like in Super, in the anime like this. I mean, like a for real Dragon Ball arc. They should actually use Goten and Trunks, and it'd be great. But they're not going to, and I accepted that. So now they're just the kids at the Capsule Corp. That's what they are. They're the kids at the Capsule Corp. Oh, that's what they are. We don't care about them anymore. They're lame. And, oh, it's just such a waste. But they cut all the little side characters out. And I was cool with that. Because the best thing about this movie is that it's not a Goku and Vegeta movie. Like they advertised it. They advertised that thing as, we're going to be seeing a bunch of junk on Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. When you watch the movie, it's all Broly. The past stuff that they show is just to set up Broly. The main points of the story is Broly. The extra side characters that they made, the new ones, besides the ones on Frieza's ship, they were made for Broly. Because I don't remember those characters either, but I don't think they said those characters' names. They knew those guys were insignificant. I think they might have mentioned it, like Frieza was talking to him, might have said the name or something, I don't know. Because they were talking about his wish being, 5 centimeters tall, which was a good, really good joke. Because as soon as they said that, I said, so it's going to be a play on what Bulma just said about her wishing to be 5 years younger. So, I like how they did that. It was cool. And also, they addressed why Bulma looks so freaking young. It was funny because Goku was like, hey, that's what you've been doing this whole time, haven't you? Boom. Problem immediately solved. Because we've all been saying, why does Bulma still look so young? You know what I mean? It's like years been passing, time's been passing, and she's supposed to look older. Because we saw the end of Dragon Ball Z. Bulma should be looking older. But they explain that away, which, with the way that they explain that away, I don't know, I guess in the next, in that whole time skip between whenever Super ends and the end of Z, they're going to somehow act like it didn't happen. Whatever, I don't care. It was a cool joke and a fun moment. But the thing about this movie was none of it felt really serious. They tried to make it serious at points, but with the way that they made it, the freaking every plot point seemed to be driven by something that wasn't as serious as it should have been. Why did Frieza want to get the Dragon Balls? Because he wanted to wish he was 5 centimeters taller. Why did Broly turn Super Saiyan? Because Frieza shot his dad and then said, hey, a stray blast hit your dad. And you should have felt something. But everybody in the theater, including myself, just started laughing when we saw that. Because it was funny. It wasn't, we didn't feel anything like, oh man, I feel so bad for Broly. No, that was played up as a joke. And we laughed at it because it was a joke. Nothing was really serious about it like I thought going into it, which didn't make me enjoy the movie less, but it did make me feel some type of way because the tone was a little all over the place. Like at some points it's like, this is real serious. Broly's talking about this animal that he liked on that planet, and his dad shot off its ear, and he wears the ear around his waist as his what you call it? As his what just flip. I don't know how to explain what you would call that thing wrapped around his waist. But it's basically, because I thought it was just some type of accessory or something. But he's wearing a fur around his waist that is an ear. That was a little dark. I didn't expect that, but I liked it. And it made me feel like this could be a dark story. But 2 seconds later, here you go with a joke. You know, so it was like, you can't be too dark with Dragon Ball, but at the same time, I don't need jokes every 5 seconds when they throw me something serious. I like for something serious to just, feel serious for a while before you hit me with another joke. But it's cool. It was still enjoyable. And here's another thing. That chick just swiped that remote off of Paragus. And my thing is, they've been surviving on this freaking remote planet for all this time. I just didn't find it believable that she could rob the remote from Paragus that easily. Doesn't matter how great of a thief she is. It just didn't seem believable. So I let that part go too. Also, you know how we see Broly in all the trailers and everything, and that armor and stuff? And we all expect the armor to go away at some point, because you see it in the trailers. He's gonna bulk up, boom, armor's gone. But the thing is, when he first came to Frieza's ship, he didn't put the armor on because he said it was tough to move around in. And it was like, but wait, when you show up to fight Vegeta and Goku, you have the armor on. That doesn't make sense, you know? Plus, freaking Broly with the freaking black shirt on, that was gangster. That should have just been his outfit. Should just came out there with that freaking tight black shirt, and then when he powered up, it ripped off. That'd have been gangster. I'd love seeing that. It's like in the freaking old Broly movie when he powered up, when Trunks powered up and his jacket ripped. Or was that? I think that was the Broly movie, right? Where Trunks did his whole Super Saiyan thing and the jacket just went ripped all off of him. Or was that BoJack's movie? Huh. No, I think it was Broly. Yeah. Actually, I think he did it in both movies, but still, the point is, when you power up and clothes rip up like that, it looks really cool. And I think it would have been cooler with the skin tight shirt rather than the armor, which I still didn't catch the armor actually, you know, break or anything. He powered up for a second. Then when they showed him again, it was gone. Like Goku, he got mollywopped by Broly. We understand why his stuff was jacked up. Then he ripped off the last piece of that shirt. Understood. But Broly's armor just disappeared. And I don't remember what happened to it. I don't remember seeing it disappear. I just saw it gone. It was there, then it was gone. And oh man, it's a really fun movie. That's what I really want to say about this. It's a really fun movie. The whole thing is extremely fun. I just wish that it could have been more serious, because I just enjoy serious tones with stuff. And I didn't go into it expecting as many jokes as they pulled in it. Like when Goku and Vegeta were fighting Broly, and Broly was putting them hands on him, putting them paws on him. Goku grabbed Vegeta and flew at Frieza. And then said, "Here you go." And then they teleported off to where Piccolo was. And Broly flew up behind them, following them. And when they teleported, he ended up beating on Frieza instead. I thought funny joke, funny little throwback to back when, you know, Goku did the whole flying saucer Destructo Disc thing. Did they ever give that move a name? I don't remember. Because I don't think they just called it a Destructo Disc like it basically was, but whatever. When Goku flew the Destructo Disc into Frieza back in the day, that's what he did with Broly. He flew at Frieza with Broly and then teleported. He was like, "I'm out." Then they went to do the fusion stuff, and while they were talking about the fusion, they were doing funny poses. Well, Vegeta was. He was doing funny poses, talking about, "Is that where we have to do the thing?" And he did this weird pose, and I was like, Vegeta, you do understand that the pose you're in right now is more embarrassing than the actual fusion dance, right? And it was a little weird. Like, some parts were really wonky. And I think the biggest problem that I would have with it is that when they went so deep into it being Broly's movie, I didn't want to see Goku and Vegeta anymore. Like, the parts with just them, I didn't want to see at all. I was like, well, let's see what's happening with Broly, man. What's going on with Broly here, man? I don't care about what you guys are doing. Which they did a good job of making it a Broly movie. I didn't think it would be, you know, to that extent. I thought Frieza was going to show up with Broly and Paragus, and they were gonna start throwing hands. I thought that's what was going on. I assumed the beginning of the movie would talk about the past because they showed in the trailer, and then afterwards, Frieza would show up with Broly. I thought in that flashback and stuff, at some point he'd find Broly or something and be like, yeah, might need you one day and come back and get him or something. I don't know. It was just in my head, I thought that they were just gonna show up and start fighting, and I was so glad they didn't. They actually allowed you to like Broly. Yes, I know. They allowed you to like Broly. Not his buddies though. Like that chick, the green chick and the orange dude, although they're likable characters, they're generic. So you don't really feel anything for them. And it's like, yeah, whatever. They're here. They're here to move on the plot of the story. And that's literally what they felt like. They were just here to move on the plot. Didn't feel like they were characters that you should care about or remember. It's like, are they coming back? Because they hinted towards Broly coming back at some point. Like, he'll return eventually. It's like when you watch a Marvel movie and at the end, after you watch the credits, it's like, Spider-Man will return. Black Panther will return. Ant-Man will return. The Avengers will return? Maybe? You know, it's just... That's how they made the end of Broly. Because I honestly didn't think they were going to show Goku again at the end of the movie. Because they went back to his planet. They were showing how they were living there and stuff. And then Goku popped up with supplies. And afterwards, you know, the green chick was like, well, what's your name? And he said, my name's Goku. But Broly, you can call me Kakarot. Then he did the instant transmission, and when he disappeared, the logo popped up. And I was like, that was sick. That was sick. I enjoyed that so much. Like, oh man, that was so cool. The movie had such high points that the low points don't even feel like they mattered. Like during the fight, they had some wonky stuff during the fight. Like I said earlier, the 3D segments, that was weird. But they somehow made you not really get bothered by it. They didn't have it so heavy into it. And it wasn't as bad as it was in Battle of Gods. So, it's whatever. It was cool. I got over it. Then they did the whole Broly and Gogeta fight. Which, when they fused, here's my thing. It was like a gag. It was like a running gag. Goku and Vegeta did their fusion. They turned into Veku, which is the fat version of Gogeta. Which I don't know if that's still the name of it or not. You know, I think it was called Veku back in the day. Then they turned into the skinny one. And then they finally did the real fusion. And here's the thing. Whenever fusion fails, that's 30 minutes. Broly whooped on Frieza for an hour. And it's like, wait a second. Broly was whooping on Frieza this whole time? You guys, you gotta give it up to Frieza. Frieza can take a beating. Because Broly was stomping Goku and Vegeta in blue. So that means that Broly's been stomping on Frieza for an hour. And Frieza was just taking it. Then, after the hour was up, and they did the right fusion, they showed up, Frieza was still fairly, you know, okay. And I was like, what's going on? Did Frieza get way more powerful than Goku and Vegeta? That's a good question to ask here. Because he got whooped on for an hour. And he seemed fine after taking an hour-long beating. Then, oh my goodness. Oh my damn. Oh my goodness. We're going ham. The freaking fight between Broly and Gogeta is not at all what I expected. Because from the trailers, it looked like Broly was going to get whooped. And then, you know, I assumed Broly would keep powering up. And then start, you know, having an even fight with Gogeta. And, you know, like they do with Vegito, I figured when they were about to, you know, do their final little attack, the freaking Kamehameha that Gogeta was about to do, I assumed that they were going to defuse. They did not. Gogeta confirmed better than Vegito. Boom. I said it. You can say what you want. That's my opinion. Also, it's a fact. Saying it right now, it's a fact. Gogeta is clearly better than Vegito. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, that fight was amazing. They like punched at each other and broke dimensions. And Gogeta was like, what the? Because usually in Dragon Ball Z, you see this weird stuff that goes on in fights. They'll like power up and the sky will change and the atmosphere will change and the color palette will change. And then they would fight each other and like, boom, they hit each other and like broke dimensions. And Gogeta was like, what the? I was like, this stuff is actually happening during these fights. It's not an effect. Like, they're noticing that this is going on. I always thought it's just an effect. Nobody notices that stuff is changing around them. That stuff, when that dimension breaking crap happened from their punches, and Gogeta said, what the? I was like, oh my goodness. He noticed. This is a real thing. They're breaking dimensions. Oh, it was so sick. And Gogeta just stomped Broly into the ground. It was so one-sided and so beautiful. Oh man. I'm sorry. Gogeta is hands down the best fusion. I don't care, even if you say power-wise or whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to talk about, I don't care. As far as actual, on-screen deeds, Gogeta was godlike. While wrapped in God Ki. But Gogeta was putting in work. And it wasn't like when you see Vegito. Because when you see Vegito fights, and it's a back and forth with Vegito and his opponent. I hate seeing that. If you're going to be a super powerful being and you're stronger than your opponent, that guy should just get destroyed. And that's what I like to see. When you come out super powerful and you just destroy somebody. That's why I liked watching Broly so much in this movie. Because when they showed that he was stronger than them, he started destroying them. There was no back and forth. And that's how I feel about really powerful characters. There should be no back and forth. So when Gogeta showed up, and he started off in Super Saiyan, and he was like, ha, doing some punches, whooping on him a little bit. Then Broly got a little bit stronger, and he went blue on Broly. And once he went blue, that was it. Broly got nothing else in on him. That was the end of the fight. And I don't mean it ended as in the fight ended. No, he kept beating on him, but Broly couldn't do anything back. Then Green Chick wished that Broly was back on his planet. So right before they hit him with that Kamehameha, he teleported onto his own planet. Well, the planet that he was on before, which I guess is going to be Broly's planet now. I kind of assumed that if they didn't kill Broly, he'd be a new guy on Earth. And he'd probably just live in a different area. Kind of like how they do Spider-Man every time they make a new version of him. They're like, oh, well, he's in San Francisco. Like, how are there so many Spider-Men running around? Oh, well, that one's there, that one's there, that one's there. So I assumed Broly was just going to be in a different area on the planet. But to send him back to that other planet he was on, I was like, wow, that's interesting. So, overall, it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it, as you could probably tell. And I just really hope that we get to see Broly again sometime soon. Also, I'd like to see Future Trunks again sometime soon. I don't know, I'm just saying, just wishful thinking. Because I feel like Future Trunks could have been done better during his arc. And I wish they'd bring him back so we could get a better chance to see him do some more stuff, get some more power-ups and whatnot. Maybe see him go Super Saiyan 3 or something, I don't know. See something cool with him, Because Goku was talking about how he said he could teach Broly a couple of things or something, He was going to use Broly like a training partner. And I was like, that seems like it could be a cool arc that we'll never get. But, you know, if they do another big event or another tournament or something where they need participants, we'll see Broly. I'm assuming we're going to see Broly. And he's probably going to be up against Kale. Gonna stomp her into the ground. And everybody's going to feel great. Everyone is going to feel great. Like, oh, Goku brought Broly. Oh, what's Broly doing? He's powering up. Oh. Broly just destroyed everybody. We're going home, people. The MVP is Broly. Oh, goodness. That was great. I'm sorry. This went on way longer than it should have. Freaking 30 minutes talking about Broly and how great he was and how great his movie was. Besides a couple of, downsides. And, it was balanced out extremely well. For every flaw that I found, for every negative, it was like 15 positives. It was great. So, bottom line, you should go see this movie. And if it wasn't for the couple of flat characters, I'd give it a 5. But also the weird little things that were breaking up the seriousness in the movie with the little weird jokes that were randomly thrown in some places. Other than that, great movie. You should go see it as soon as possible before it ends up out of the theaters. And when it comes out, you should buy it because it's good. It's really good. Also, I'm assuming, here's me making assumptions, here's my prediction. At the end of the month, when this Fighters thing finishes up, the Fighters Cup or whatever it's called, and they announce new characters because they're going to do it, first characters are going to be Gogeta and Broly. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Or, here we go, they could, be complete jerks, and they could give us some other crap first and save the best characters that everybody wants for last. You never know. But until then, until we see what's going to happen, that's my prediction. Just like with Smash, I predict that somewhere around the release of Kingdom Hearts, they're going to announce Sora for Smash. Or Roxas. Roxas would be better. But I'm assuming they're going to announce Sora for Smash. So anywho, I'm just throwing stuff out there now. The movie's great. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you saw the movie. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out and have a great day.